Alright, back again today with one other stack of books. Probably going to be the last book video for a little while, because I got other books, but I mean, man, they are, they're stored, you know. I don't have a library room where I have everything on a shelf, you know. I've got stuff in crates, basically, that I could haul if I ever won the lottery, you know, and I had a bomb shelter created, you know, I could just haul that stuff down in there and then have an apocalyptic library in the bomb shelter, right? But, you know, the thing is that 95% of us cannot afford stuff like that. So we just kind of gotta, like, wing it. Yeah. Contrary to probably popular belief, you know, I'm not rich. I know a lot of people probably see these videos and they think, oh, that guy must be rolling in dough. He's, you know, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just the fact that I'm old and I have had a whole lifetime to acquire things, you know, one way or another. You know, that's kind of how it works, right? Yeah. So let's go into this next stack of books here. And these are all military-oriented books, okay? So when we talk about an apocalyptic situation, we're talking about grid down, all bets are off, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, your friends, and you know, it could be a whole guerrilla warfare scenario out there, right? Well, we came very, very close to the Second American Revolution before Trump went in. We came very, very close to a Second American Revolution because of the commies. And that does not mean to sit on your butt and be lax either. So all that Minuteman stuff we went over, you need to keep working on that and refining everything. Alright? And anyway, so some of you will be into long distance shooting, whether you are a military shooter or you just enjoy shooting like bench rest, okay, like 6mm round and whatnot. You know, I mean, there's been some overlap in the last few years between bench rest and military shooting. Okay, the whole point is precision and firepower, right? So, I mean, that is the whole thing. So, as I understand it, the Marine Corps, the U.S. Marine Corps has done away with the Scout Sniper program, which I feel is incredibly stupid, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, this is a large, modern version of the U.S. Marine Corps training manual, right? So, for sniping, U.S. Marine Corps, United States government, anyway, so it's got the AOR1 camo on the front, and it's got all your usual stuff from the old school, you know, the old school handbook, manual, training manual, whatever you like to call it, right? It's pretty much got all of the same stuff, only in larger format. Okay, so this is obviously, it's not really updated. I don't know, what are they? they do have the inertial sniper scope there. You know, the optic and let's see. Yeah, all kinds of stuff here. But I'm not really seeing anything like updated, you know. And I'll show you what I mean by updated. So you got this, right? I don't know if you can still get this, but if you want this, you better go ahead and get it. Okay. As far as update goes, right? So here you go. U.S. Marine Corps sniping, right? And I'm gonna have to do something with the cover because it's trying to separate here. But you know, you look in here and it's got, like, you look at this and you look at that, and it's, you know, it's mostly the same stuff. I'm gonna say though, you know, in my opinion, I believe that this does have more in it, even though this is a small book, right? So this is a good one to have if you could find it. U.S. Marine Corps sniping, right? That's a good book to get. I picked this one up, flipped through it. This is called Advanced Patrolling Special Operations, right? By some couple of guys here. This is by a company called Mentor Military. MentorMilitary.com. Alright? So, this is obviously designed to be a pocket mentor, right? So if you didn't have a Sea Daddy or whatever, okay, somebody to kind of like give you a heads up on different things, that this is kind of like a pocket mentor, right? Anyway, I kind of looked through here, and there's a lot of stuff that goes through the ages, right? As far as combat scenarios and so on. Here's on this page it's talking about tripwire connection to a spoon and clothespin. Yeah. So, you know, but it is slightly updated. Gulf, what do you call it? The Global War on Terror, GWAT, right? So it does talk about the sand people and the sandbox and so on in here, right? So it is somewhat up to date. Here's another one that you might consider reading. You know, it's just a little light reading before bed, right? So we still got a few minutes. A little light reading before bed. This is a U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Army Counterinsurgency Field Manual. Okay. So, a little light reading for you before bed. You know, get up on your counterinsurgency. You know. By two different generals, General Petraeus and General Amos. Okay. Alright. What do we got next? Alright. Now this is a good one. Now, this is by a fella named Bob Cars. And he was in the Special Air Service in New Zealand. And this is called the SAS Guide to Tracking. Okay, so it's a nice book. It's a very nice book. So, former SAS tracker Bob Cars, right? Okay, spent 18 years with 22 SAS. Trained as a tracker with the SAS and the New Zealand SAS. Bob went on to run numerous tracking courses for special forces. And let's see here. He met this writer, Stuart Birch, and an illustrator, Roy Thomason, when they were all serving with 2 SAS. 22 SAS. Sorry, this is my eyes done. Alright. 22 SAS. All three live in England, right? Where the base is based. Where the base is based. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so it's got a lot of good tips in here. You know, so it's kind of like tracking, counter tracking. So if you know tracking, then it's easier to pick up counter tracking, right? To prevent people from tracking you, okay? So this is a very good thing for you to have in your bookshelf. Not just to sit on your shelf, but actually to read, okay? So you get into a Minuteman situation, apocalypse grid down, you know, you want to be able to conceal your movement, right? So, you know, not only do you want to limit your target indicators if you're approaching an enemy, okay, but you also want to, as you leave the area, leave the situation, you also don't want to be trapped, right? So these are the type of things you need to think about. It's just kind of like, you know, a handgun, right? Handgun, semi-automatic handgun is gonna, you know, if you don't have something to collect up the spent cartridges as they eject, okay, because you used to be able to put a bag on the side of the weapon to catch all the spent cartridges. You could use a revolver, and then spent cartridges are not left behind either. See, so the whole idea is to be invisible, right? Leave no trace of you being there. No trace of you being there when you're there. No trace of you being there when you're gone. You know, I mean, the whole thing is to be a mystery. You know. Anyway, next book. Quickly, I picked this one up. This is a hardback. Nice little book. It has stuff in here from the Foreign Legion, the British Special Air Service, the U.S. Marine Corps, Rangers, U.S. Rangers, SEALs, and so on. And anyway, so it's called Special Forces Survival Guide by Chris McNabb. This is a hardback. So this is a pretty good little book. Right? That's a good one. Here's the one I was telling you about when I was talking about the Air Force Survival Handbook. This is the Army, the official U.S. Army Survival Guide. Updated edition. Alright, so it's pretty thick. And this is it. Personally, I feel that the Air Force one has a lot more to offer. Just my opinion, though. You're going to get them both and make your own assessment. Okay? Yeah. Shut up. So here we are. Complete and unabridged. Field Manual 30-05. Decimal place 70. Obviously an update to FM21-76. Last one, and then I gotta shut her down. This is a compilation from the 80s magazines, I believe. It's called Survival. Right? Editor, Len Cackett. This talks about, it says, techniques from the official training manuals of the world's elite military corps. So on the front is a U.S. Marine, and on the back is a fellow from the Paras in the Legion, And most of the material on the inside you will find from British forces. So, but it's still a good book. Okay? Catch you later.